What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another week of the Kentucky Derby update. A lot to talk about this week. We'll get going right now, and we'll kind of recap what happened last week. We'll start with the main event first. It was the Grade 2 Remsen Stake at Aqueduct on Saturday, and it was an interesting race. The favorite, Keewaydin, a horse that I was excited for, didn't do much, kind of just stopped at the top of the stretch, really didn't have much of a chance even before then, kind of was up on the pace and didn't do much. The eventual winner was the number 3 Poster. He gets the job done by a very narrow margin as Aviator Guy was coming up. The other Chad Brown horse was coming up to kind of match him there, and they both actually got equal buyers. They were both assigned an 84 buyer for the effort, so very close indeed. Aviator Guy kind of got stuck in behind horses a little bit. Maybe not the best trip in the world, showed a lot of heart. But Poster, the eventual winner, I thought in the turn or even the top of the stretch, I thought we were getting ready to see something extra special from the number 3 Poster. He had made a big move. He'd kind of swooped by all the horses. He looked to be running much, much faster than everybody else in the race. I do think he flattened out quite a bit in the stretch. Now, again, he won, and it was his first time going a mile and an eighth. It was his first time racing on the dirt. All things that could lead to a better performance maybe in his next start, as he kind of has that experience now. But still, I do think he spun his wheels a little bit in the stretch. It kind of looked like he was home free, and then kind of let some other horses get involved late, at least one other horse. Like I said, an 84 buyer for the effort. Not great, but not the absolute worst thing in the world, and not the end all be all. It's still very early. Talked about going a mile and eight for the first time, everything like that. But it is important to note that the Demoiselle was also at Aqueduct, and that was for the 2-year-old fillies. About a half second faster, Muhima covered the mile and an eighth, about a half second faster than Poster. Muhima, if you're looking for Kentucky Oaks prospect, she seems to fit that bill pretty well now, 3 for 3. She was assigned a 90 buyer speed figure for the effort, so a little bit higher speed figure for Muhima than Poster. But again, I wasn't overly impressed with Poster. I also don't think he's like awful or anything like that. But to me, a little bit more needs to be seen from him. And that's probably fair. That next start on the dirt will only be his second. All right, let's go back one more race to Friday, the Advent Stakes. Now, why was this important? It was just a 5.5 furlong sprint for 2-year-olds there at Oaklawn. But it had Innovator, a horse that was coming back off 9 days rest after just narrowly losing to Barnes, a horse that closed as one of the, if not, I think he may have been the favorite in the Kentucky Derby future wager. So I think a lot of people that had tickets on Barnes wanted to see Innovator win. He certainly did not win. He was well beaten by the number 6, Kale's Angel. And this was a Peter Miller horse, also running on the dirt there at Oaklawn for the first time. This Kale's Angel just destroyed the field. He was assigned a 93 buyer, which is better than Muhima or Poster. So can Kale's Angel go longer? Yeah, we don't know until he tries it, right? But he's not exactly, bred to not go longer, I guess. We'll just kind of have to see as that goes. So Kale's Angel with a nice win. Innovator did get second in the race. He certainly regressed. He had an 87 buyer for that race at Churchill. He went back to a 79 in the Advent. That 79 is kind of where he has been falling lately, or not lately, but his whole career, other than that one race there at Churchill. So maybe he kind of went back to what he normally does. And, Kale's Angel took advantage. So Kale's Angel, I don't know if he'll stretch out or not, to be honest. But if he does, we'll kind of keep an eye on that, because that was a pretty flashy and pretty impressive race. Now, fast forward to this week, what's coming up, the Springboard Mile at Remington Park. It's a full field, and it's a crapshoot. We'll have a video of that, I should say, later on today, a full preview of that. I'll go through it, pick the winner, go through every single horse, kind of give you an idea there. So I don't, at first glance, well, just to be clear, I've had a lot more than a first glance, because right after this video, I'm going to record that one. At full glance, I guess I should say, I don't know if there's a real contender in there, but we'll see what happens. That's going to be on Friday at Remington Park. And then on Saturday, we're going to have the Los Alamitos Futurity. We do not have that field yet. If it's anything like the Starlet, which was for the Phillies last Saturday, won by Tinma, Bob Baffert will probably have 3, 4, 5 runners, 2, 3 at least in the Los Al Futurity, and he'll probably be the favorite and the one that's tough to beat. I don't know that for a fact, though. A horse like Bullard is nominated. We've talked about Bullard a little bit. Maybe he'll go there. Maybe we'll see something with him. I don't know yet, but we'll have a full preview of that race out on probably Thursday of this week. So check back for that. Like I said, can't comment on it much now. I can say overall, the Los Alamitos Futurity has been a hit and miss race over the years. Some years it comes up strong. Some years, like last year, maybe that's not fair. I mean, there was a couple horses that did okay out of it, but overall, it was not a great race last year. So anyway, kind of a hit and miss. We'll analyze that when we get it. All right, let's get to the top 5. There are no changes this week, but I'll go through them again. The number 5 is Patch Adams, a horse that ran really well on debut. Just couldn't quite get the job done, but you could tell he had talent. His second race was out of this world, though. Patch Adams, a dominant maiden special weight winner there at Churchill Downs. So we'll see where he progresses next for Brad Cox. This is a really nice horse. And I'm not sure he's bred to go a mile and a quarter, but I do think he's bred to win some of the early Derby preps, if not all of them, except maybe the Kentucky Derby. We'll kind of see when he stretches out. But he's an awfully nice horse and one to really keep an eye on. So Patch Adams at number 4. Patch Adams at number 5. Sovereignty, number 4 for me again this week. Of course, came out of that maiden special weight on Travers Day at Saratoga and ran 4th. Came out of that and ran 2nd the next time, and then stretching out to 2 turns for the first time in the Street Sense Stakes last time out at Churchill Downs. We kind of saw him blossom into who we think he might be able to be. Kind of have the feeling he's going to get better as they go longer, as they goes 2 turns multiple times. You can see improvement. Bill Mott, another guy that'll kind of get him to improve, get him right for the big spot. So number 4, Sovereignty, looks to have a big future. Number 3 is East Avenue. And these 3 have been well documented, but we'll do it again if it's the first time you're watching this video. Number 3 East Avenue, a horse that was flawless in his debut and then flawless again in the Breeders' Futurity at Keeneland, and then all kinds of flaws in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He did no running. He broke just horrifically bad, got in a terrible position. I mean, the horse almost went down. He's usually up towards the front. He's towards the back. He just didn't do any running whatsoever. I draw a line through that one. I still think he's a very nice prospect. The number 2, Gaming, who ran 2nd in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. And again, we've documented nice maiden win at Del Mar. Went on to win the Del Mar Futurity. Really, really nice wins. Both those races were around 1 turn, though. He did not have a 2-turn prep race going into the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile was his first race around 2 turns. He rounded the corner looking like he was ready to go win that race. I think he got just a bit tired. He might have been able to win if he would have had that prep. So I keep Gaming at number 2. I do think he has a lot of talent. And then number 1, Citizen Bull, which was the winner of the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He did have that prep race going 2 turns. That came in the American Pharoah, which he also won at Santa Anita before going gate to wire in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Undefeated around 2 turns, a horse that has a great pedigree for that, and a horse that has a look of one that might get better and better as we go through the races. So Citizen Bull, number 1 for me. Hard to go against the Breeders' Cup Juvenile winner right now. Every year that horse is kind of the number 1 horse until he's knocked off. Not saying it's impossible for that to happen, just saying as of right now, Citizen Bull is number 1. All right, let's recap it one more time. Patch Adams 5, Sovereignty 4, East Avenue 3, Gaming 2, Citizen Bull number 1. That's the top 5 again for this week. Like I said, Springboard Mile and Los Al Futurity coming up this week. Should be fun to see those races go off. A Springboard Mile on Friday night, and then the Los Al Futurity on Saturday. So keep an eye on that. All right. That'll do it for this video, guys. Thanks everybody for watching. Hit that like button if you like the video. Hit subscribe. You really like it. Want to get alerted anytime we do videos like this. And hopefully we see you back here for the next video next week as we keep going down the road to the Kentucky Derby.